And welcome back to Friday. And this one comes to us from the Reaper of the Hidden Mist, who asked the question, who will win the fight? Minato Namikaze, Naruto's father, the fourth Hokage, the Yellow Flash, versus Orochimaru, the Snake Sani, prodigal son, all that goodness. And this is probably one that gets debated often. I've seen other videos talk about it. I'm going to just adjust this image slightly so they're a bit more evened. And I've seen, and there are other videos out there. There are probably videos better than mine talking about it. But it is a question because remember, Minato got the position of, or Minato, depending on your pronunciation, Minato, got the position of the fourth Hokage over Orochimaru. And I believe that was kind of what pushed Orochimaru over the edge of to going bad. Is that, he got turned down, but not turned down. He felt like the third rejected him. Like, I was the one who was supposed to get it, not him. I'm better. Well, why? Why him? And so he kind of went rogue. But the question really is that the ask is, was Minato stronger than Orochimaru? Was he? And that's a legit question you could raise. Now, what we know of their abilities, you would actually think it would be Orochimaru who's strong. He just has as far as I can tell, a larger litany of jutsu under his belt. Like, he has God knows how many techniques under his belt. We know he has all 5 chakra natures thanks to swapping bodies. Whereas Minato, I believe, only had 3. Now, he had like wind, water, and lightning, if I'm not mistaken. Minato, one second. Minato Namikaze, just so I know for certain. Now, he may have had those, but we never saw him use any of it. So let's be fair. He probably knew jutsu that we never saw. Maybe that's kind of more than likely what it was. He had fire, wind, lightning. He also had yin and yang. And Orochimaru, I know all of them. But when you really break it down, what do these guys bring to the table? Well, immediately what Minato brings to the table is he's younger. I believe Minato was, when he died, only 24 when he died. So yeah, he was pretty much in his prime. Whereas Orochimaru is someone who was in his 50s. Now, granted, he is someone who's swapping bodies with younger bodies, so he can still have pretty much near peak performance. But he still suffers from like the backlash of that technique, so it can be a little wearing on him. But Orochimaru makes up for that with having decades more experience than Minato. So whereas one is physically more fit, the other is more experienced in fighting. In terms of their actual abilities, I mean, look, this is God knows how bad Naruto battles get, because you have to factor in just about every freaking thing they can do. Orochimaru, as I said, has all those abilities, and he apparently also has wood release, and that's probably because he took the body of one of the Zetsu clones as his new body. That's why he probably has wood release. Although I don't think he can actually use wood release. One second, I'm making sure about that real quick. Chakra prowess, do we have chakra nature here? Oh yeah, nature transformation. Gains access to wood release because he took over White Zetsu's body. Yeah, that's why it is. But other than that, though, I mean, yeah, I'm looking at all these and like, yeah, Orochimaru's got far more abilities under his belt shown than Minato does. He has chakra scalpel. He has demonic illusion surrounding. It's a genjutsu. Several earth releases under his belt. 8 branches technique, 8 trigrams, sealing technique, 5 element seal, unseal, formation of 10,000 snakes, many different types of snake jutsus. Summoning jutsu, living of corpse realm, Edo Tensei essentially. Orochimaru's Jujutsu, Orochimaru style body replication technique, self-healing technique, shadow clone, shadow shuriken technique, slithering snake mode, substitution, summoning, triple Rashomon, single Rashomon, impure resurrection, what I believe is the Edo Tensei, snake summoning contract. He's got the long sword of the sky, sword of Kusanagi, temporary paralysis technique, wind style jutsu, and obviously he also has fire, and he's got the other ones as listed. Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, as we've seen. So yeah, Orochimaru is seriously like like he's just overqualified to be a shinobi. I mean, Minato does bring things that Orochimaru just doesn't have. The Rasengan. Orochimaru does not know the Rasengan. Sage Mode. Orochimaru, as far as we know, does not have Sage Mode. Now, even by Minato's own admission, he can't really use Sage Mode effectively for a fight for very long. But because of that, he can use it. Sage Mode, he can use it at least for a short amount of times. Summoning Jutsu for Toads. Now, we know he had the Fox's chakra. He had the other half of the chakra sealed inside of him. But unfortunately, I won't include that because that is after he died and by saving Naruto. We're looking at them pretty much kind of like at their peaks almost. And at his peak, when he was alive, he did not have the Fox's chakra. I mean, he did for a little bit, but then he died. But let's get into the real thing that people like talking about, the Flying Thunder God technique, where basically it's a teleportation technique of instantaneous movement. He can use it for he can just use it for transportation. He can use it to blitz an entire group of soldiers, like hundreds of thousands of men at once, giving him the nickname the Yellow Flash. He can use it to transport techniques away. He can set up symbols far away and just move from there. Despite the fact that it's just one technique, it's extremely versatile because of the level of power there is, level of power and the level of technicality there is behind it. Minato was apparently like a master of seals and space-time ninjutsu. We never really see most of these techniques, but we know from what they said that he was a master of these techniques. It would also be fair to say that Minato is better at hand-to-hand combat than Orochimaru is. His style just lends itself more to it. So if these two had actually met in a fight, what would have happened? Orochimaru would have been the aggressor. Like, he would have been challenging Minato probably for, like, the right of Hokage or something like that. And it's like a fight to the death, Minato. And so he's like, all right, fine. Do we have to? All right, fine. So, they clash. And, they'll start off, slow for a little bit. Or start off easy. Hand-to-hand combat. That's all it is. Just boom, 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 boom. But after a while, Orochimaru starts to, maybe spits up a snake. Minato just slices it with the shuriken. He brings out the grass longsword. They clash again. Minato's now starting to, had a little difficulty with the sword's length and reach, but fortunately, his shuriken make up for that. He throws a bunch of shuriken. Orochimaru blocks them all, but Minato immediately appears right in front of him with a Rasengan. They clash. Now, of all the techniques we've seen, the only element we've seen that Orochimaru use, the only element that we've seen Orochimaru actually use in the manga, in the story, that Minato does not already have is Earth. So, he could be using Earth Mud Wall or something along those lines to block Minato. Minato that would just crash through it with a Rasengan. But unfortunately, that would give him enough time to set up another jutsu, wind style, searing wind or something like that. But again, because of the fact that there's now kunai littered all over this battlefield, Minato would just be able to easily get out of there. There we go. Get out of there. Orochimaru does not have an answer to the Flying Thunder God. For all Orochimaru's abilities, his prep, his actual skill, he does not have an answer to space-time ninjutsu. And that, I think, is really kind of what sets Minato apart from Orochimaru, is that Minato kind of has an answer in some way, shape, or form for just about anything Orochimaru throws at him. Paralysis technique, no, Minato's skilled enough to get out of that. Try to use killer intent on him, please. Minato has slaughtered thousands of enemy soldiers at once. Earth style, he's got lightning style, wind style, or fire style, if he uses, he's got enough counters to the elements that doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to get at with that. Rasengan, damage doing. Snakes, he's got toads. Sage mode, if he honestly needs to try to go into it, he can go that route and kind of start to really wreck Orochimaru's shop. Unfortunately, while it's just one technique, it's such a powerful technique that if Orochimaru does not have an answer to it, it is a problem. So, unfortunately, I would go with Minato in this fight. I mean, for those of you who love Orochimaru, I would go with a Minato in this fight. And again, it really comes down to the fact that one technique is extremely versatile, extremely powerful, and it's something that Orochimaru just doesn't have an answer for. And Minato is a master of using it on multiple levels. So I would go with Minato in this fight. But ultimately, what do you think? Do you think it's Orochimaru? Orochimaru is an opponent that would have the ability to beat Minato. It's not like he doesn't have the ability or power. It's that he just doesn't have an answer for he needs to be able to get around everything Minato can do in order to beat him. And he doesn't have an immediate answer, or even a long-term answer, I think, for that jutsu. So I'm going Minato. What do you think? Do you think Minato would win, or do you think Orochimaru would win? Put it in the comments below, let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior, Magic, what if. Anything you do in the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get that at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.